So a couple of pointers, a couple things to consider as you're going through this. You want to avoid making any soldering bridges across any of your pins. So for example, if you glob too much solder on, you might have this pin conducting with this pin. So you want to avoid doing that. And that's really easy. You can just kind of take your soldering iron and rake between the two pins in that area you want that solder to be gone. Also, something you want to do in post soldering is scrub your board with rubbing alcohol. So even though I haven't used the usual flux that you use when you're soldering, because I'm using rosin core solder, I can still get some flux kind of caked onto the board, and if I don't clean it, it can potentially conduct current across pins where I don't want it to do that. So I can still end up with more or less a bridge, and I get a short in my circuit. And you'll notice this if your board is working for a little while, it's taking code, it's accepting code, it's doing what you ask it to do, and then all of a sudden, maybe like an hour into it, it's not accepting any more code. You're having issues getting it to do simple tasks like blink LEDs and things like that. That kind of tends to be a problem with too much flux being on the board. So make sure you scrub it. Other than that, just remember to be safe. Soldering irons are dangerous. I've burned myself numerous times using them. Nothing too bad, luckily, but it's recommended that you solder in a well-ventilated area because it will produce fumes. Also use eye protection, wear some goggles, because that's easily the most dangerous or the worst mishap you can have with soldering iron is burning your eyeballs. Not pleasant. So just keep that in mind. If you end up with a couple second-degree burns on your hands, you know, you're one of us now. All right, you guys. Enjoy putting together your boards. I'll see you next time.